Vincent van Gogh, one of the most influential figures in the history of Western art, was born in the Netherlands in 1853. He was a post-impressionist painter, creating around 2,000 artworks in one decade. His father and grandfather were ministries, but others in his family worked in the art world. Vincent had 2 brothers and 3 sisters. When he first started drawing, he sketched pictures using pencils or charcoal sticks, using some watercolors as well. Eventually, he began to paint using oil paints, having around 860 oil paintings behind him. In early part of his career, Van Gogh used a lot of dark colors such as browns and dark greens. His pictures were often somber or sad and characterized as dramatic and impulsive. His most famous early painting was called The Potato Eaters. It was a dark picture of a peasant family eating potatoes for dinner. Much of what we know about Van Gogh comes from letters he wrote to his brother Theo, who worked in an art gallery in Paris and supported Vincent's art career. He wrote to Vincent about a new style of painting in Paris called Impressionism, which is when Vincent moved to Paris to learn from these new painters in 1886. His art became influenced by painters such as Claude Monet. During this time, Van Gogh began to use brighter colors. His brushwork also became more broken, unlike before when it was very expressive and bold. Van Gogh also became interested in painting portraits of people, but when he couldn't find models, he would paint himself for practice, painting over 20 self-portraits during this time. In 1888, Van Gogh moved to Arles, France, to start up an artist commune. He rented out a yellow house to live in and invited artist Paul Gauguin to join him, but the 2 artists had an argument and Gauguin left. After an argument with painter Paul Gauguin, Van Gogh went home and cut off part of his left ear with a razor blade. Then he wrapped up the ear in a cloth and presented it to a woman as a present. In 1889, Van Gogh committed himself to a mental hospital. He could barely take care of himself, but still continued to paint, painting one of his most famous paintings, Starry Night. Many of his paintings during this time featured cypress trees and lots of swirling colors. Van Gogh's mental state continued to deteriorate until July of 1890, when he died from a self-inflicted bullet wound to the chest. I feel that there is nothing more truly artistic than to love people.